49 of the All the Books show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning.
Hi, Nick.
And hi. We do have some literary news to share today, and we have a special author spotlight with David Dvorkin, who we've been mentioned that we're going to do this for a couple of weeks now.
We sure did mention that.
Finally worked out in the schedule, and we had a nice chat with him, which will show up in the episode a little bit later.
Yeah.
How the heck are you, man?
Good.
Look, we haven't talked about it much, but the world needs to know, and I need to know what you thought about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. So let's just...
Is this the literary news?
Right. No, this isn't. But
right.
I can't focus on anything else.
Right. So this is a spoiler-filled review?
No, free. Because I haven't seen it, because somebody doesn't respond to my text. So I haven't seen it.
All right. Real quick.
Yeah.
The way you phrased that text made it sound like you wanted me to babysit.
I asked Eric to babysit everyone.
But you said it after you asked me what I was doing the next day, making it seem like it was continuing from that.
Yeah.
So could I babysit as well the next day?
The next day.
So I thought I was babysitting for you today.
Right.
But
well, a simple way to avoid that is to answer a text.
Oh, my word.
And this has been the more you know.
What? All right. So I liked how
Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic World.
Fallen Kingdom.
Hit me.
I liked when... No, I was going to do a bunch of Planet of the Apes references.
Oh, that's
see
pretty
if anyone
funny.
picked up.
Yeah. Yeah. When Caesar says no, I think it's a very chilling moment in Jurassic World.
Yes. Caesar the T-Rex.
Some of James Franco's finest work.
Yeah. Okay, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. Did I like it?
Yes.
Okay. Is it flawed? Yes.
Okay.
It's the most prequel-y of any movie.
Prequel-y? What does that mean?
That means it's the only movie in this series that feels like it's setting up the next movie. And I think that's because, one, the other movies were never setting up a sequel. They were just making a movie. Yeah. Even Jurassic Park 3 is like, we're not setting anything up. We're just trapped on this island. Jurassic World had things that were leading into a sequel, but it was a very complete movie. You could watch Jurassic World and never watch the sequels and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
They'd just be like the Henry Wu stuff.
Right.
But this one is very much like, and you can't wait till the next one. It's still a complete movie. I think you could still watch this one and not watch whatever's coming next, and you'd be fine. But I feel like, unlike any other Jurassic Park movie, you really need to have seen Jurassic World to click.
So the way you're saying this makes it seem like you don't leave the movie feeling satisfied.
No, that's not it. I think for me, and I get that a lot of people are saying this movie's really bad. It's got some pretty bad ratings.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
But look, I went wearing my Velociraptor socks, so I'm a pretty biased.
Oh, we all know. We all know.
I'm biased.
But I guess the point I was trying to make there was that I usually find that really helpful to know. Like with Infinity War Avengers, you said to me, it very much feels like a part one. Yeah. And that was good to know going in. Right. So I feel like this is a public service announcement.
I don't feel like this... It's not a part one. Okay. I still think that you go in, you watch the movie, and you're fine. I think it sets up a sequel more so than any other movie. Like, a lot of it is, like, we're moving pieces to get to the next film. The difference is, I think, why it feels okay is because they had already... Jurassic World made so much money, they were able to already schedule Jurassic World 3. So it's not like where they do Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they're like, maybe we're getting a...
Yeah, boy.
It's kind of weird because what Fallen Kingdom does structurally is what a lot of reboots do on their first movie, but then nobody's invested because it's a prequel for the movie that's coming up.
Right.
But we already got the Jurassic World
reminds me I have
reboot.
to talk about Solo in a minute.
Yeah. Jurassic World already gave us like the reboot sequel and already set everything up, and then we were already on board with this world, which I think was a better way to go.
Yes, I agree.
It's kind of like, I mean, X-Men 2 was kind of like that. Like, it was a movie that we all excited for, but it definitely set up for a disappointing sequel. But a sequel nonetheless. It's smaller. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is smaller.
Well, that's kind of smart.
The second half, it is not a big action movie like Jurassic World.
Yeah, it looks like the last 45 minutes of that movie are just going to be like...
I've seen it described as a haunted house film, and like thinking back on it, it's like, my wife was like crunched up the entire time, like latched onto my arm or sinking into her seat. I mean, right from the get-go. The first 5 minutes of Fallen Kingdom, so good. It's like the tastiest dinosaur, and it was so good. If I could just watch that 5 minutes...
The tastiest dinosaur.
If I could just watch that first 5 minutes on loop for the rest of my life, I'd probably be okay.
You do
Oh,
that.
it's just so good. It's exactly what I want. And like, in terms of it opens scary. Like, it opens very scary.
Okay.
There's some sad stuff in there.
All right.
Animals are in peril, and I can't tell you that they all make it out.
Okay.
So my wife,
how's the music?
it's fine.
Oh, really?
I'm not a big fan of the Jurassic World music.
Okay.
Nothing's really
I like
stuck
that
out to me.
composer.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
I just haven't heard anything
Okay.
that's really stuck out. But yes, there are some sad animal moments.
Okay.
So
I can't handle that.
yeah, sorry.
I'm not
man.
good at that at
My
all.
wife, apparently my wife will equate any sad animal with our dog
Yeah,
Scooter.
I do the same thing.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, not your dog,
yeah,
my dog.
the woman sitting next to me, she was almost like a 40-year-old version of my wife
Uh-huh.
because every time Kendra was scared and scrunched up, this woman was also on the edge of her seat near her daughter. And during a sad moment, I heard this woman go like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I still liked it.
Okay.
But I'm fully aware that it has flaws. But unlike Jurassic Park 3, the flaws have not.
They haven't ruined it for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Did you rewatch Jurassic Park 3?
No, not yet. I didn't rewatch. I didn't have time to rewatch the
Didn't do it.
movies, so I'll probably just do a marathon. But yes,
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm excited, but also like I have no clue what's going to happen in 3.
Well, that's kind of fun, though.
Yeah.
That's a cool place to
Yeah.
be. Well, as a friendly reminder, folks, from Penguin Random House,
What?
The Evolution of Claire,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jurassic World prequel,
Yeah.
will be coming out this week, actually, so we should
Yeah.
have it in the library soon. That is a prequel following Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Claire.
No Vince Vaughn.
No Vince
That
Vaughn.
was prime opportunity to bring Nick Van Owen
Bring him
back,
back.
and
Gotta
they
bring him back.
apparently, yeah.
In
He
other
would say
news,
yes in a heartbeat.
I finally saw Solo,
Nice.
and you called it because I liked it, and I liked it. It was my favorite since Force Awakens,
Yeah.
just as what you said
Yeah.
would be. So I am kind of disappointed that it's donezo, like there's no more,
Yeah.
because that, well, you said it. You called it like a game on at the end there.
Oh
where it
yeah, when
just-
the game is on,
yeah.
but no game will be on.
because that
next.
ends when you're like, oh wow, and then
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Hopefully they'll at least pick it up in books or pick up some threads in other.
It's the Dracula Untold
Yes.
Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
exactly. That's exactly what it was. But I did really enjoy it. I was okay with him as Han Solo, even though I didn't really think he was a good choice for Han Solo. But I thought it worked,
See,
and I liked the movie. I thought it was fun.
now that you've seen it,
Yeah.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
I would be much more positive about this Star Wars Han Solo prequel movie if it wasn't Han Solo and these were just original characters.
Yeah.
You take out, I mean, you could even leave Lando in there if you wanted, but if you
Yeah.
take out Chewie and Han
Yeah.
and just, like, there are scenes in there that are exciting and fun scenes
Yeah.
that I thought, like, oh, this would be more fun and exciting if they were original characters. There's, like, what do you call the Kessel Run?
Yeah.
There's a Kessel Run
Yeah.
in this movie. During that scene, I'm like, this is great. I just wish these were original characters.
Right.
And like that's just what I think it would have been a fun side
Yeah.
trip.
Well, nobody wanted a Han Solo movie.
Yeah. And now,
yeah, I see what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
it probably would have been more popular if it would have just been like its own
yeah.
thing.
I think he could have been he was likable
Oh, yeah.
in that role.
Yeah.
It's just every now and then I had to remind myself he's playing Han Solo.
Right.
So that's I think it could have just been fun with that kid playing original stuff.
Someone else.
The problem is Solo not doing well has now put in jeopardy the Star Wars spin-offs that some people wanted.
Right.
Like those of us that wanted an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie,
Yeah.
we might not get it because
Yeah.
Solo, the one we didn't
But did
want.
anybody want a Boba Fett movie? Because that was.
I don't understand
I
the
don't get it
appeal of
either.
Boba Fett.
No,
he
me neither.
He just looks cool. I guess
Yeah,
that's the
that's
thing.
true.
I guess that's the thing about all Star Wars villains. They're very surface level. They
Yeah.
all look cool,
Yeah.
but few outside of Vader
Yeah.
Vader can really like I don't know, can
Yeah.
go deeper than just the appearance.
Yep. I think you're right.
So,
I think you're right.
But they
So,
do look cool.
I mean, overall, I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I liked it. The novelization for that is coming out in September, and the
Right.
YA prequel to that, Most Wanted by
Yeah.
Ray Carson, we have in our collection, and that was pretty good.
Yeah,
so
we
I would
have two
recommend.
copies, one in the
We
adults
do.
and
Yeah,
one
I
in
don't
the
know how
adults.
that happened, but we do.
I think I ordered it, and we also have Star Wars on standing order.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
That's it.
how'd you like Ron Howard's narration during the whole thing?
Yeah, that didn't fit.
Yeah, Han Solo
Yeah.
was like, I got a good feeling
Yeah.
about this. And he's like, he
didn't.
shouldn't. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Okay,
So.
well let's get into some actual book news. now.
Actually, have you watched Arrested Development season 5? The new
No,
one? I haven't
no.
started it. I
No.
don't think I can. After the
I don't know.
last season,
4 was so awful.
and there's been so much behind the
I
scenes
know,
drama
a
about
lot
this
of
one,
stuff.
and I'm just like, maybe I'm
you
done.
know, I'm really Arrested Development. I think more than anything else has taught me the lesson of like, maybe more is not better.
Yeah,
you
leave
know
things
what I
where
mean?
they
Like
lie.
you want. I think there's few examples. Like Veronica Mars is one
Mm-hmm.
where you go a long time, you want more. They do a movie and they just nail it.
Right.
Whereas I think something like, can you have your wife not listen to this part?
Okay.
Can you tell her not to listen?
Don't listen.
Like the Gilmore Girls, I did not think worked.
Oh.
So I think it's a hard balance to give you what you want without
Right.
just being like, well, this doesn't really.
Yeah.
I don't really like. So
Yeah.
Veronica Mars, yes. Arrested Development,
Yeah.
no.
We experienced that with Futurama as well.
Oh, see, I didn't find a big drop off with the
Right.
with the movies, yes, but with the
Yeah.
Comedy Central seasons, I
Yeah.
liked them okay.
Yeah.
You didn't?
No, there's good stuff in there. I
Yeah.
just think it's just one of those things. It's like we had 4 solid seasons,
Yeah.
and now we have 7 good seasons.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. It's something about
Yeah.
when you're going back and like redoing
Mhm.
something, you don't have that initial, I don't
Yeah.
know.
But at the
I
same
don't know.
time, I just gave my thumbs up to the 5th Jurassic Park movie.
You did. Yeah.
So,
In all fairness.
yeah.
Okay. So in book news, I read a couple of graphic novels.
Mhm.
I read Batman Broken City by Brian Azzarello, which I
Uh-huh.
did not like,
Who broke it?
but I passed it on to you.
Yeah.
So
it's
we'll
not
see what
just
you think.
Brian Azzarello. Brian Azzarello, he's written some other
Right.
comics, DC stuff,
Yeah.
but he wrote the 100 Bullets series, which I've been reading through, and he brought his artists along from there. Like, it looks just like 100 Bullets.
Right.
So, and as I was going through that art, it looks a lot like Tim Saul.
Yes, it does. That's why I said in my review, like, I feel like it's trying to go for a long Halloween or,
Right.
or a year one, and it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Just zips right through the middle and misses them
Mm-hmm.
entirely. I also read Iceman Volume 1,
Uh-huh.
Iceman's first ongoing series. I love Iceman.
Yes. He's only had miniseries. That is correct.
I love Iceman. This series was pretty good. It's a
Yeah.
lot more. It's a convoluted story at this point with everything going on in that universe, and it was a lot more about interpersonal stuff than like
This is
Iceman
him.
action.
He left to go to San Francisco, right? To
Yeah.
try to live a normal life.
Right, and he's like coming out to his parents,
Right.
and like I mean the story is interesting, but
Mhm.
it's just there's not enough like Iceman.
Right. His
So-
parents are already jerks, too.
They are, yeah, they're not good
They
characters.
didn't like him when he was a mutant.
No.
They sure don't like him now.
No.
So-
So we have 2 volumes of that. I think maybe there only are 2 volumes of that, but
Yes. I think there's a
we got him.
3rd volume coming.
Okay, so we'll get that too.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm gonna read the second volume.
I think it's
Looking forward
over.
to it. Okay,
So
all right. And then I read Bare Bones by Kathy Reichs. We talked about this a lot last week, so I won't get into it much
we
again.
sure did.
Based on the same idea as the TV show, not very similar. I find with these books, there's a lot of intrigue in the premise. Starts strong, but the writing is just
Right.
not strong enough. It's
Ooh.
just not there.
Right.
They're 100 pages too long, and they're just very clunky.
Speaking of,
Like every couple of years, I read one of these
Mhm.
books, thinking like, I bet this one will be good, and then I'm always kind of like, yeah, it's fine. So
Hmm.
I can't really recommend the series.
okay. Speaking of dark things, we were watching Westworld yesterday, and the
Yowzer.
preview that came on before that was Amy Adams in Sharp Objects
Okay.
on HBO.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I that's based on, of course, the Gillian Flynn book,
Yeah.
author of Gone Girl, Dark Places, and Sharp Objects.
yeah.
Yes. So, Gone Girl is
Looks
the
too scary.
most like that's the biggest name. But I
Right.
feel like Sharp Objects is maybe a better book. It's
Oh.
it's a small book. It's concise. It's really like it just gets you. It just hammers it and just keeps going.
Right.
That's a very strong book, and it's on our Page Turner book club for this year. So we'll see
Oh.
if people like it as
There you
much
go.
as I do. But I think Amy Adams actually is a good choice for that role.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
and if you didn't catch me throwing shade at Lois Lane, I was. So
Okay.
yes, I'm looking forward to that.
I thought that was
else?
I thought that was shade at her American Hustle role.
Oh, well, she was bad in that too. I'm currently reading Camino Island by John Grisham,
Uh-huh.
and as listeners
The
know,
Cloner Island from episode 2,
exactly
Star Wars.
the really
Yeah.
long
Necked,
necked
yeah.
people. Yes, I'm digging this, and I've not enjoyed a Grisham in a while.
Yeah, good
in
for
a,
you.
In a minute.
Back, baby.
So, Camino Island's pretty good so far. I'm
Yeah.
halfway through. It's a totally atypical Grisham plot.
Mhm.
A group of thieves steal F. Scott Fitzgerald's original handwritten manuscripts for Great Gatsby and all of his novels.
Okay.
And then the story kind of keeps moving, like as you're following those. So you keep getting a new batch of characters. And I think
Right.
halfway through, I've kind of settled into who we're going to follow.
Mhm.
Somebody that the insurance company hires to sort of tail a certain person who they think is a part of this crime. So
Right.
the story's good. I'm liking it. So I'll let
Okay.
you know how it goes. I'm also loving High Fidelity. I've not read Nick Hornby before.
I
But
have.
High Fidelity. Oh, have you? What have you read?
Oh, no. I've read the script for An Education.
An Education?
Yeah.
Oh, that's based on a Nick Hornby thing?
Yeah, it's where a girl dates and loses her virginity to an older man.
Yikes.
Her dad is played by Alfred Molina.
Huh.
I read it in a screenwriting class.
Okay. I didn't realize he did that. Anyway, High Fidelity is for...
You didn't realize what?
I didn't realize Nick Hornby wrote screenplays.
Didn't he write the script for High Fidelity?
Well, if he did, I didn't realize it.
Oh, okay.
This is for our Contemporary Classics Book Club. It is part of our summer reading program for adults. Libraries rock! So we're doing all music-themed books.
Yeah. Libraries and Cleveland.
Yep. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you read it. You rated it 2 stars in 2011.
Yeah, I must not have liked
in case
it.
you're curious.
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I did like Alfred Molina in it, but it was also just his script.
Yeah.
At one point, he's like, "Oh, does money grow on trees?" And then, he just goes outside looking around for the tree.
I can picture Alfred Molina doing that in my head.
It's pretty funny.
That makes total sense.
With his Doc Arc. Oh, Mike, forget it. I'm going to leave now.
I talked about
Dr.
Solo,
Octopus.
but I also watched 2 page-to-screen adaptations that... Am I allowed to say sucked on the podcast? Can I say that?
Yes.
Is that okay?
But you must say it into the mic.
They sucked.
Oh, no.
First one's going to be a little controversial.
Uh-huh.
See what you think. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Dang.
It's a great screensaver.
Wow.
Do they still have screensavers? Is that still a thing?
My Roku does.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's like about a half hour of movie in there that I found intriguing, wrapped up in 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Do you like the movie?
I like the middle third.
Yeah.
With the characters.
Right. With people.
Yeah. I guess I like the weird opening with the apes.
Yeah. Boy.
Yeah.
That is a crazy movie. Have you ever seen 2010, The Year We Made Contact?
With Jaws Man.
Yeah, Roy Schneider.
Yeah, no, I have not.
Not Rob Schneider, Roy Scheider.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also kind of like, I don't know, the whole movie, it's just a whole bunch of crazy ideas.
Yeah.
I like. Hal, all the stuff with Hal.
Yeah, Hal's cool. So have you seen the sequel?
No.
I asked my wife if she wanted to watch it, and she genuinely thought I was making that up, that they wouldn't possibly ever do that. But came out.
Well, he wrote it I think
in 1984.
A few books, maybe?
There's like 6 books.
Yeah.
The
Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah, Arthur C. Clarke. 2001 is based on his short story, The Sentinel.
Yeah.
And then he adapted it into a book, sort of in conjunction with Kubrick as they're making the film.
Yeah.
So it's based on the short story, and there is more of a companion novel that goes with it. And then the series continues on from there. I think it is 6 books. Quite a few. The other was The Mountain Between Us, based on the Charles
that
Martin.
was you.
Yep.
Okay.
Based on the Charles Martin book. Idris Elba and Kate Winslet, both very talented actors, both terrible in this.
Sorry, man.
I've never seen either of them act as poorly as they acted in this movie.
Does the dog live? Just tell us. Nobody cares if it's a spoiler. The dog lives.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
totally
they
fine.
put that in the marketing. It was hashtag the dog lives.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've read
Definitely.
things people.
But
that was smart.
I mean, in a situation like that where they're trapped in a plane and they have a dog, there was this is gonna sound stupid, but there was no character development for that dog. He just was.
He was just there.
Yeah, he might have well just been a rolled up sleeping bag for all the charisma that this dog brought.
You were thinking maybe he'd be sexist.
No, they just didn't relate to him in any way. It wasn't thank goodness I have a dog. There was no warmth you felt for the dog outside of the fact that he is a dog. But it wasn't come on, Rufus.
I would say dogs are character actors. You put them in there because you already have an affection towards the dog.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
yeah, and
you don't need the dog to then bring
that
it.
is that is certainly the extent of what you got there. So
all right,
I guess that's it for me. That's quite a lot. My wife, she hasn't seen The Mummy yet, the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Yikes.
So I put it in, and that Dark Universe logo came up, and I'm like, oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We watched about 30 seconds of it, and we're like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
you remembered?
We didn't watch
the first 30 seconds is just Russell Crowe being she was the queen. Somebody get me a cake.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Take that, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Did you bet on any of Russell Crowe's auction?
No.
You didn't? You didn't buy the Gladiator
codpiece?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Okay.
So.
All right.
No, I didn't.
All right. Let's get to your bookmark.
All right.
Enough about me.
All right. I read Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
Really?
No.
Interesting. I saw 30 seconds of the movie.
You saw the whole movie. I was with you, man.
I did.
You were like, I like this.
We were together.
So you didn't. Anyway, we'll move on. I read. I've just been reading some Batman. If that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's
fine.
okay to talk about. The Bat, the Dark Knight detective, if you will, the Cape Crusader.
Right.
I'm thinking about stuff. The Dark Knight Rises, if you will, in my reading list.
Yeah.
Basically, I went to this site. I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, site.
Well,
I just typed in like the best Batman stories. I was looking for the best Batman stories that I haven't read because every list is always like The Long Halloween, and I'm like, yeah, I've read it.
Right, yeah.
So this one had some other good stuff, and so I've been reading some of those. So the ones I finished are Batman Strange Apparitions.
Woo!
Yeah. It's a collection of stories from like the 70s.
Okay.
And they're really good.
You know what? I like 70s Batman, but I think I like 80s Batman better.
If
I'm being honest.
Okay.
What's it?
Nice.
There's a collection called Batman in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
it's a good
what
set.
you're talking about besides Batman Year One.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all the stuff with
Jason
Todd, like Batman, the Cult, Death of Maidens, all that stuff in there.
I haven't read
Five Nights of the Beast.
I've read that one.
Intense.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Go on.
Strange Apparition. It's just a collection, but there's some classic stories in there, and I think they're collected because they introduce. I don't want to spoil it for you because you checked it out.
Yeah.
But there's a certain character in there who is introduced for the first time in there, and there's a one or two like classic stories that I've heard about or seen or even like read an issue of in like the greatest Joker stories ever told or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
I don't want to read a collection called The Greatest Joker Stories Ever Told.
Oh, well, it's okay. It's usually like 70s and 80s.
You know who
stuff.
does? Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I guess. So anyways, that was cool. I haven't really read any Batman from the 70s. And like reading this, I was like, I would just keep reading this.
Yeah.
But you can't. They either don't have it collected like that or they don't have a digital.
Yeah, what the heck?
Like I would have signed up for a subscription of DC
Me
Unlimited right after reading that
know.
because all I wanted to do was read more 70s Batman.
I know. I feel like they must have some deal with Barnes & Noble because Barnes & Noble, when you buy DC Comics, has the panel by panel, and they're the only ones.
I don't know. I
don't get
DC,
it. Let's take a minute to talk to DC directly.
DC Comics, they sell their graphic novels, their trades, sell a lot better than Marvel's.
Yeah.
And it's because I think it's because they're easier to follow.
Yeah.
And
cheaper. They're cheaper.
Yeah, they're cheaper and they tend to collect their classic story. They have more like stories that are very standalone than Marvel's very serialized. Help me out. Serialized. Thank you. But yeah, you wanted to talk to DC Comics?
Yeah, DC Comics, listen.
It's Nick.
You need to get your game together. All right? You're doing okay on TV. I don't know what's happening with your movies, and it's impossible to read your comics. Yeah. Just get an app.
Yeah.
You want to copy Marvel's app? Copy Marvel's app.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But get it together.
Yeah. I'll give you the code.
Because I've been a DC fan since 1983. And it's hard.
Is that when you were born?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard.
All right.
It's hard.
Little hyperbole there.
I don't remember a time I didn't like DC Comics.
You think you came out of the womb being like, give me Batman?
I probably
probably said
Superman.
Nightwing. Yeah. Nightwing or Superman.
Yep. Was there a Nightwing in 1983?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I read Batman Prey. By Doug Munch. I don't know.
I don't think it's Doug Munch, but
I don't know.
Maybe it is.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
It's.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry to interrupt. No Nightwing in 1983.
Shoot.
What a world.
Yeah.
What a world I came into.
Or chicken nuggets.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't know chicken nuggets or Nightwing yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Boy, if I could go back in time and tell that sweet little baby all the things he has in store for him.
Yeah. Chicken nuggets and Nightwing.
Yeah.
Sega Genesis.
It's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Echo the Dolphin's going to be there in 10 short years.
So Batman Prey, it sounded like I said bray there, like a horse.
Batman.
Batman Prey.
Yep.
It's a early 90s comic. It's a Hugo Strange. This is like post Year One and everything. So it's his first encounter with Hugo Strange, and Hugo Strange trying to figure him out. Early Catwoman stuff is in there. Early Scarecrow stuff is there. It's taking place like very close to Year One, but what's weird is it's very 90s. And Year One is very like not 90s. Batman Year One.
I think you could make an argument that it's 90s. I think it has that sort of like
a
90s gritty cop show sort of feel.
All right. Well, I guess it was just hard to reconcile those because a character in there is called Night Scourge. I'm like, Night Scourge wouldn't be in Batman Year One. Nothing was more 90s than Night Scourge in this guy.
That's pretty 90s.
It's good. It's very violent and early 90s. It's very of its time.
Okay.
But the story is still it's just Hugo Strange stuff is very like, God, this is dark.
Yeah.
But I liked it. And it's actually two stories, Prey and Terror.
Okay.
And it collects both of them. And I feel like Terror would not be good without Prey, but Prey would probably be fine without Terror. I also read Shadow the Bat. I got this because it was supposed to be a cool Arkham Asylum related story. It's when they rebuilt Arkham Asylum finally and like changed it around in the 90s and introduced the nephew of Arkham, who was taking it over. It's only the first 4 issues, and then it's a bunch of other stories I didn't care about, and I actually didn't even like the 4 issues in there. So,
wow.
Not high review for that. That one is dated. That one is 90s dated. If you've been waiting for a cool Zaz comic, the serial killer.
Keep waiting.
Yeah.
Keep waiting.
And then I read Batman Volume 5, Rules of Engagement by Tom King.
Current stuff.
Yes, this is brand new because Batman proposed to Catwoman.
Oh.
And she said yes.
Wow.
Actually, she said meow, and then she said yes.
It makes sense.
She does say meow a lot in this comic.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Throwback.
She'll just show up and be like meow. I'm like, huh.
Julie Newmar throwback.
Okay.
Good for them.
Tom King has such a weird writing style. The characters don't speak like people.
They speak like cats.
They speak like free-form poetry. And everything is so symmetrical in their conversation.
City nights, dark sky.
Yeah.
Lady on the prowl.
Meow. Anyway, I asked you.
I was sashaying.
Yeah, you were like going back and forth.
Fingers, so.
Yeah. You didn't want to.
That's important.
You didn't want to read this, but I think you do. I think you should.
Really?
Yeah, it's less of what the other stuff was.
I mean, I guess I've read every other volume leading up to it.
It's very straightforward. It's none of that. It's none of the stuff you didn't like about the War of Jokes and Riddles. It's just good Batman stuff.
If this is a trick.
No, it's good. I think you'll like it because there's some good Robin stuff. There's some good.
Wait a minute.
No, there is.
Damien.
Yes, but
you
also.
You know how I feel about.
And Dick Grayson. And Jason Todd.
Okay.
There's some good Superman stuff in there. Superman and Lois Lane.
Yeah, I know them.
They're in it.
Cool.
And it's fun. If you want, they go on a double date.
Okay.
Come on.
All right.
Bruce Wayne and Catwoman go on a double date with Superman and Lois.
I mean, as you know, I'm working the election tomorrow.
You need stuff to read.
I'm gonna need some reading.
Yeah. Here's some non-Batman stuff for all you
Oh my goodness.
nerds.
Wow.
Let me throw you guys a bone.
Yeah, throw those non-nerds a bone.
All right, non-nerds. I started The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, non-fiction.
A Natural History of the Lost World by Stephen Brusette.
Okay.
And Stephen Brusette on Twitter said, "Hope you enjoy."
Said it to you?
Yeah.
You should get him on the pod.
I do not. Oh my gosh, we'll just have a dinosaur interview.
Call him up.
Yeah. I'll ask him. I was like, so were you a dinosaur fan before?
Oh yeah.
The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So it's just a history thing of dinosaurs. I'm not very far in it, but it's good. It was funny. I saw this show up. I don't even know. Oh, I was reading an interview with him about Jurassic World, and they're like, and he has this new book, and I was like, okay, and it was just on our new shelf. So I just ran over to our new books and grabbed it.
Yeah.
Because that's how libraries work.
That's how it works. It's a great little commercial.
Also, I need to finish Batman and the Monster Men because you need that for tomorrow as well.
I would like to read it, yeah.
And I also grabbed Batman Nightwalker.
So many
I have more Batman comics I ordered.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I'm in a Batman mood.
Yeah.
I gotta fill that Jurassic Park hole now.
Yeah.
Now that I've seen the movie.
With Batman.
Batman.
Hey, maybe you watch Batman v Superman.
Nah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, man, we got to move it on.
Yeah.
We're behind the times here. I promised you some literary nudes up ahead of time.
Did you say literary nudes?
I said news.
All right.
But I know what you mean.
Right.
I did hear it.
All right,
when
ladies.
I said it,
Here's we're gonna share F. Scott Fitzgerald right now. It wasn't just his writings that were stolen.
That's right.
Oh my.
Well, now it's gonna be awkward for me to transition to talking about the Women's Prize for Fiction.
Oh my God.
Nick and Eric present the award.
The Baileys, or I guess now it's no longer, Baileys is just one of their sponsors. Now it's just simply the Women's Prize for Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Last year the winner was
Baileys.
I know. Well, they're still a major sponsor, one of three. With Nat West and Deloitte. But anyway, last year, The Power by Naomi Alderman won this. My wife read it, loved it. Mm-hmm. It's been a popular book here. This year, we have one that was also on the short list for the National Book Award.
Yes.
And the winner was just announced this month. We'll be adding this to our collection, and it is Home Fire by Camilla Shamsi.
Was this the literary news you said we had?
This is the literary news.
Okay,
yep.
yes.
And this is a take on the Sophocles play Antigone. If you know that, Sophocles, the daughter of Oedipus.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what it is. It's a take on that.
No, I didn't know he had a daughter.
Oh, it's Antigone.
Okay.
Anyway.
Wait, the daughter he had with his mom?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yikes.
I know. But she seems like she's doing all right.
And Electra's the one who...
Considering.
fell for her dad.
Yeah, the daughter of Oedipus and his mother Jocasta. So there you go.
Yikes.
There you go. Again, the title of that is Home Fire by Camilla Shamsi. So congratulations to the author and winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction for 2018. You can check that out soon.
You can read the sequel, Little Home Fires Everywhere. No, that's not real.
You're right. Let's look at some advance
I'm right.
notices.
Look into the future to see what it proves. It's time for book news.
And here's what we have coming down the pike.
What?
This is Stewart Woods working with Parnell Hall. So we got a bit of a James Patterson situation happening here.
Yikes.
This is an offshoot of the Stone Barrington series. This is Teddy Fay. Teddy Fay, the villainous character of those books. In the exhilarating new adventure from #1 New York Times bestselling author Stewart Woods, Teddy Fay races to stop a scheme of extortion and a hostile takeover. Sounds like maybe he's turned over a new leaf.
Kind of.
Well, all right, so that's coming. Oh, next to here. I can't read a synopsis of this because this is a series I'm reading, so it's too far ahead.
All right.
Robert B. Parker's Colorblind. This is a new Jesse Stone novel written by Reed Farrell Coleman. And I'll give you this much. Police Chief Jesse Stone returns in the newest novel in Robert B. Parker's New York Times best-selling series, and his newest case hits right at the heart of the Paradise Police Force.
Oh, no.
Can't tell you anymore.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jesse Stone
now,
wanted to get caught.
Before you get excited,
Right.
there's just a mock-up. It's just a white background.
Okay.
No information about this cover.
Okay.
Clive Cussler and Boyd Morrison come back with Shadow Tyrants. This is book number 13 in the Oregon Files series.
Oh.
The Oregon Files, of course, where you try to go across a large stretch of land and
get
most of your
dysentery.
friends
Yeah.
get snake bites.
Yeah.
And you shoot 2 ton of buffalo to make one sandwich.
Yep.
So this is an Oregon Files book. Only Juan Cabrillo and the crew of the Oregon stand between 2 warning moguls and global havoc in this thrilling suspense novel in Clive Cussler's #1 New York Times best-selling series. That doesn't sound good.
Snap.
Doesn't sound good.
Calling it like he sees it.
Whoop, cozy alert.
What?
We have a cozy alert.
Oh, okay.
In large print, we have book number 3 in the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop Mysteries, The Cat of the Baskervilles. The show is coming to town on Cape Cod. The West London Theatre Festival is putting on a stage production of the
murders in Cape Cod.
of Baskervilles. Gemma Doyle's excited and participating with her friend Jane Wilson, whose mother Leslie just happens to be volunteering with the company. Leslie arranges a fundraising tea party at the home of the festival organizer, catered by Mrs. Hudson's Tea Room. The tea is a rousing success, but Sir Nigel Bellingham, the famous star cast as the lead as Sherlock, goes missing, and Gemma finds him at the bottom of a cliff,
Snap.
dead.
Yeah, you don't want to find somebody there.
Now look, I
that
told you
state
that
of being.
this is number 3,
Yeah.
and I think we need to know what the other.
Okay.
They are Elementary, she read.
Mm-hmm.
No, that doesn't work.
Boo.
That doesn't work.
Boo.
It doesn't work. Because
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote is a take on an Agatha Christie
Yeah.
book. Nothing to do with Sherlock
Well,
Holmes.
Maybe it's not a Sherlock Holmes thing.
It's a Sherlock Holmes bookshop mystery.
Oh, I don't know then. What's the second one?
Body on Baker Street.
Okay.
And again, that's not really
You know,
a play or a
yeah.
pun.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
So
man.
pretty disappointing.
We do have, last week we asked, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? We asked for people to send in cozy
We
mystery
wanted to hear.
ideas.
Yeah, we wanted to hear.
And we needed more than one
Has
of
to
you
be.
to show that it's sustainable.
We need to know.
Because obviously this Sherlock one wasn't.
Oh yeah, this is proving the point right here.
And our own Ben Lehman sent something
our
in.
music maestro.
Yeah. He sent in one. I guess this is Library Murder Mysteries.
Library Murder Mysteries. Okay.
Is the theme. So you got
All right.
number 1,
Hit me.
bookmarked for death.
I like it.
Number 2, read between the bloodlines. Number 3, reference check for murder. Number 4, the public library.
Ooh.
And number 5, Dewey Decimal Violence.
Decimal violence?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Oh, wait. Nope. Dewey Decimal... Oh, boy.
Dewey. I think
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Number 5, Dewey Decimalevolence.
Yes. There you go.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
great. He says he's not sorry at all.
No, he
So
says,
he's
"Why do
proud
you
of this
ask?"
work. So again, this is our friend at Trip Existence on Twitter, the maestro of all of our music
Yeah.
on the show. So thanks again, Ben, for that.
Yeah.
We're looking very forward to book number 1, Bookmark for Death.
Yeah.
In submitting these,
Yeah.
you have agreed to write and publish these as well.
That's true, yeah.
So that's and it's not too late. If you have your own cozy mystery series that you'd like to pitch
Yeah.
to the All the Book Show, you can hit us up on Twitter. Sorry, I said hit us up.
That's okay.
I don't like that.
That's fine.
Let me. You know what? Let's redo it. Here I go.
Okay.
Find us on Twitter, but then that's not very helpful.
Just find us on Twitter.
Find us on Twitter at All the Book Show. All right. But really, we want to hear more.
Right.
Facebook, David A. Howe Public Library, email at wellsville@stls.org. And you can send us some mail.
Yeah.
Some Pony Express, maybe. All right. That's it for my advance notices. So take it away with the New York Times bestseller list.
Okay. New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover fiction. Hardcover adult fiction.
Adult fiction.
Covering it. It's hardcover.
Hardcover adult fiction.
Number 10. When life gives you... Okay, you're going to say lemonades or whatever, but that's not what...
Lemonades?
Look.
Plural?
When life gives you Lululemons. All right.
Make
that's
Lulu... Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Boy,
that's by Lauren Weisberger.
That is a cliff. She sounds like a real Weisberger.
Yeah, we did this last week.
Okay.
This is my...
Hey, I'm sorry that it's funny every week.
Emily Charlton plans a comeback from the suburbs, from the author of The Devil Wears Prada. We had that whole panda discussion.
Yeah.
You,
Oh, yeah.
You just sounded like Fonzie there for a second. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's what you think, fine. It's more like a Danny Zuko. Look at Sandy.
Yeah, there you go. Number 9, Before the Storm. Oh, wow.
What happened?
Before the Storm by Christy Golden. An impending war may destroy Azeroth, based on the online role-playing game World of Warcraft.
Oh, that's what list are you reading?
This is the hardcover fiction. This
really?
is at number 9.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, Christy Golden.
Who's Christy? Is she?
She's a workhorse, just like Christopher Golden, who I think there's no relation.
No relation.
I don't think so.
They both write.
Christy Golden's written a lot of Star Trek fiction. I know.
You're telling me Christopher Golden, a man who writes much licensed books, and Christy Golden, who does the same thing.
I don't know.
They share no relation.
Well, maybe they do. I don't know. I looked
in your search bar, type in Christy Golden plus Christopher Golden.
I've looked this up before because I thought maybe it was like just the same person, you know, just doing different. Yeah. But no, it seems to be just two separate people, and I don't see a connection here.
Well, anyways, her World of Warcraft book, number 9, new this week.
Are you gonna read it?
No.
Oh, you like StarCraft?
I like StarCraft, man. I'm not into...
All right, I'm sorry to ask this question, but are they connected in some way?
No, that's crazy.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, is Star Trek and Star Wars the same thing, Nick? I mean... what?
No, one is viable and has a studio that supports it.
Nice.
And the other Star Trek.
Paramount, Nick has some words with you.
I sure do.
On the same level as DC at the moment.
Yes. You know, I've read quite a few of Christy Golden's Star Trek books.
You should check out her Warcraft material.
I can recommend the following. The Last Roundup by Christy Golden. That's the original crew getting together for one more time. And she wrote a 2-part Voyager series at a time where nobody was doing Voyager. And that's called the Spirit Walk series, volume 1 and 2. I love both of those.
Are you sure you like that Voyager book? Or it's just you were so thirsty you drink the sand?
That's probably true. Okay. That's probably true. Well, she's written some other Voyager books that I did not mention.
Oh, okay.
If you catch my drift.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like them.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, 7 of 9. That's the title of the book that I didn't
Most
like.
Fans,
was 7 of 9.
Think, yeah. Number 8, The Gray Ghost by Clive Cussler and Robin Rossell. I said I wasn't going to talk Batman.
I know.
And now I'm doing this deep cut of the Batman animated series from the 90s.
I know you are, but what am I?
What?
That's a Pee Wee Herman. That's a Pee Wee Herman reference.
Number 7, The Fallen by
There's a connection. Tim Burton's related both to Batman and Pee Wee Herman, and Paul Rubens played the Penguin's father
twice
in Gotham and on Batman Returns. So don't give me those looks.
Also, not Josh Brolin. Who's the other one?
James Brolin.
James Brolin.
Yeah.
Who's in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
He is, as Pee-wee.
Was in the original Westworld movie.
Yeah.
And I have one more episode of Westworld to watch.
Oh my gosh.
We got
It all comes together.
The last episode of the season.
And Josh Brolin was Jonah Hex.
Yes.
He wants to talk about it still.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't.
Number 7, The Fallen by David Baldacci. 9 weeks. Amos Decker. He's maybe he's not the memory man?
No,
I thought he was.
Amos Decker is the memory man.
Okay, well, they took it off the list here. Number 6, The Death of
Memory Man.
Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware.
Oh, you know what? I have a confession to make.
Uh-huh.
I bought this book.
You sick...
I picked it up at Barnes & Noble.
What's wrong with you?
And, well, I was won over by The Lion Game. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
And actually, my wife is reading it right now because I was like, does this seem good to you? And she was like, I want this book. So now we own it.
Okay.
We own a copy, and I don't care who knows it.
Nice.
Don't tell your wife because she doesn't like.
She doesn't like that they called her the Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
And she hated the woman in Cabin 10.
Maybe Kendra should just skip this whole episode because I've said 2 inflammatory things now.
What was the first one?
The thing about Gilmore Girls not working.
Oh,
I hope she
sure.
didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She'll be so angry.
I don't think she heard it.
I'm going to go for a hat trick. Let me think of something else that would upset her.
Okay.
You go on. I'll think quietly to myself.
All right. Number 5, Shelter in Place by Nora Roberts.
Yeah.
You know
what's stupid? Bob's Burgers.
Wow, you just made a lot of people upset.
I've never seen Bob's Burgers.
I just watched the 3rd season
With
of...
apologies to Kendra.
Hey, I'm going to share this because it's stupid.
Okay.
I just watched the 3rd season of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Finally, because they have not put it on Hulu.
Okay.
It's been so long. It's just not been on Hulu. So I started watching it and on like Daily Motion and what episodes they had on Adult Swim, just on my computer, sitting on my futon, just watching it, having a good time.
Yeah.
And yesterday, they released it on Hulu.
You just couldn't wait.
I just couldn't wait an extra 2 days.
Serious question to you and our listeners. Should I watch Bob's Burgers?
I don't know.
Huh. I'm putting a poll up on Twitter, everyone.
All right. It's not crude.
Okay.
If you're worried it's going to be like Family Guy.
No,
it's not.
Just curious.
It's probably a better version of The Simpsons now than The Simpsons are today.
Okay.
So, it's good stuff.
Poll going up on Twitter. You have 1 week to tell me.
Yeah.
And I will abide by the answer here.
Number 4, The Pharaoh Key by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. Gideon Crew and Manuel Garza go on a mission to solve a mystery of centuries-old stone tablet.
Exciting
Let
times.
me just fall asleep for a second.
Eric, wake up. Eric,
oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I had a nightmare about a stone tablet,
show.
and it was no.
Okay.
Now I'm back. Number 3, Tom Clancy, Line of Sight by Mike Maiden.
Wow.
Jack Ryan Jr. risked his life to protect a woman in a country on the brink of civil war.
Yeah.
So
Tom Clancy's more successful dead than a lot of writers are alive.
crap.
I
guess you can say
I'm
that.
just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, here's something you
The
guys
man
might...
knew how to brand.
That's true. That's true. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Here's something you guys might not know about Nick.
Oh.
When he's a little bit bored, his
What?
feet will just reach out like the limbs of an octopus, just looking for anything to play around with. If he's in a movie theater,
I can't deny it. The seat in front of me.
Yep, and no one else is there.
Yeah.
That arm of
Yeah.
the chair in front of him will go up and it will come down.
Right.
And that chair, if
You're
it
right.
squeaks a little bit, if he's in the car, you're gonna be lucky if you're driving and he's in the back seat, your front seat is gonna move up and it's gonna move back.
I'm being called out.
So anyway,
I'm being called out.
Right now he's playing with the. We have some empty chairs
spare
around this
chair.
table, and
I'm
he's
not bored. I'm just stretching out.
well, the chair keeps like moving to its
I'm
side.
all right.
No, I'm just saying. I just wanted
Okay.
people to know that you like playing footsie with whatever's around you.
Yeah.
For fun.
Yep.
So
You're right.
if he had prehensile. Oh, I can't do it. Prehensile
Sure.
toes,
Yeah.
like a chimp.
Yeah.
There'd be no stopping you.
Yeah.
You just.
I can pick things up with my
Yeah,
toes.
you'd be eating popcorn with your hands, and
Yeah.
you'd be sipping your soda with your feet.
doing a Sudoku with my my toes.
Number 4. Anyway, watching Skyfall. Not Skyfall, Spectre.
my gosh.
Watching Spectre with Nick. It was like,
Ugh.
Nick, stop
So boring.
hitting
hate
everything
that
with your
movie.
feet. All
All
right. Number 2, The Outsider by Stephen King. It's scary. You're not going to read this because you're too scared because you have a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I hope I never have a kid that then makes me not want to read things.
Yeah.
No, is that true? Well, it's like I said, Kendra connects everything with our dog.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Number 1, guess what?
What?
Number 2 is still The Outsider. Number 1 is still The President is Missing by
boy.
Bill Clinton and James Patterson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks like discernment is missing amongst readers.
Wow. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
maybe it's good.
I wish the bestsellers list also said figures.
Yeah.
I want to know how many millions
How
of
many
copies.
people?
Yeah. And this isn't just here. It's number 1 on the combined
That's
ebook.
interesting.
And so I want to
interesting.
know how many more people are buying this on ebook.
Yeah.
Who are like, I don't.
I wonder.
buy.
I wonder if Jimmy Carter's The Hornet's Nest is getting a bump from this. So people are like, I just want to read any work of fiction by a former president.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what Twitter's for. Heyo.
Nice. All right. And with that,
Yeah.
we have an interview.
What a great segue.
Do you want to segue
We
into
sure
our
do,
interview?
yeah. Well, we mentioned this several weeks ago, and then we finally got back around for a time that works. But I'd read a couple of David Dvorkin's Star Trek books. I read one forever ago, 2011. Then I read Captain's Honor recently, and I really liked it, so I read the next one. Eric read Trellisane Confrontation. We just got to talking about it, and I just sent him a note saying, hey, I really enjoyed these books. And we got to chatting, and I invited him on the show, and he agreed to come on and answer our questions. So let's hit it.
presents Author Spotlight.
Well, we're here with author David Dvorkin. David, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so what we have is just a quick Take 5 series of questions here. The first one is, what unique challenges come into play when you're writing established characters versus your own original creations?
Well, it is much more limited or restrictive. You cannot just invent a history for the characters or change them any way you want to. We ran into that very much with Star Trek, where, for instance, in one scene in the book I wrote with my son, I had a scene where Riker is in charge of the ship, and he expresses some doubt in his thoughts. He's thinking about, he's not quite sure if he's up to this. And Paramount shot that down right away. They said that Star Trek officers never feel any doubt.
Oh, wow. Writing characters with no doubt would certainly be a limitation.
With no doubt.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I did, as you may know, I did a Sherlock Holmes pastiche, and that I was pretty free to do anything I wanted with, because although Sherlock Holmes' story is fixed in the books that Conan Doyle wrote, he's long dead, and the family didn't have any control over it, so I could do what I wanted. I could change. Then you don't want to change it, of course, too much, because you still want it to be the same character that readers are familiar with and love. But you can do much more than with, especially television show characters, because they keep very strict control over those.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, Eric wanted me to ask if you were a sci-fi fan who got into Star Trek, or a Star Trek fan who got into sci-fi.
No, I was a science fiction fan long before Star Trek existed.
Okay.
And when Star Trek came on the air, I was working at NASA at the time in Houston on the Apollo program. So it was, that was really neat. We loved it. But I watched it every show, every episode, and then when it went off the air, I watched the reruns over and over again.
That was great.
Brainwashed my son into it. So
Perfect. Yeah, indoctrinate young, I find.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you mentioned your book, Captain's Honor, but I wanted to talk about that for a minute. So in that book, you take the quasi-Roman setting from an episode of Star Trek, the original series, and you bring it into the next-gen era. And I was just wondering, what about that episode, Bread and Circuses, I think it is, what about that intrigued you, and why did you decide to set it in a next-gen era?
It wasn't exactly so much that episode. It was really Patrick Stewart.
Okay.
He was in Claudius,
Yes.
I, Claudius.
Yep.
And that was the first thing I ever saw him in. I think that may have been his first major role. He was fairly young, I think, playing Sejanus. And my wife and I loved that series, and we thought he was just an amazing actor. We were just blown away by his Sejanus. And then with him being in the Next Generation, I came up with the idea of there being a Sejanus character in this Roman Empire. And the fact that it's basically the same man physically, he'd be his double, that would make an intriguing story. The problem then was that there'd be 2,000 years off the mark, because the other Roman Empire has followed basically the same timeline. So we had to wave our hands and say he was somehow just happened to look just like the famous Sejanus of history. And let's go after him. The problem is the famous Sejanus, his children were murdered.
Oh wow.
By the emperor's orders when he lost the influence. So they didn't have any descendants, as far as we know.
Okay. Now, you were mentioning when we were talking off mic that originally you with the cover you thought the two of them would look alike, and then they don't.
Yeah, we complained about that, my son and I. The whole idea, and that's a gimmick in the story, is that they virtually look like twins.
Right.
They both Patrick Stewart, and again, on the cover they had that stubble-faced, scowling, surly guy, and you can't imagine a Roman officer with unkempt stubble anyway. They would never have done that. And then they had the Japanese sword on the cover.
That cracked me up.
Yeah, when we talked about it, they said, "Do you want any changes made in the cover?" And we sent a very strong message to them, and then they ignored it, which publishers tend to do.
So do you find that common? You don't get a lot of say in what the covers look like?
I'm afraid so, yeah.
Okay.
They always say you do, but in practice you don't.
Okay. Well, let's stick with talking about your son for a minute. So you collaborated with your son Daniel on Captain's Honor, as well as a political thriller you guys did together, Dawn Crescent. I'm just wondering how that works, working with someone else.
It worked very well for us. For one thing, at the time, his writing style was extremely similar to mine, so there wasn't much of a problem there. Also, in both cases, I kind of came up with the detailed outline, and then we just chose which chunks of the outline each of us wanted to write. So we went off and did our own thing, and then I went over the whole book to make sure the pieces meshed together.
Okay.
And that worked well, as I said, because his writing style at the time was similar to mine. I think it has changed a lot now, so I don't know. Since then, so I don't know how well it would work now.
All right, well, let's move on to short stories for a minute here. I really enjoyed your collection, Earthmen and Other Aliens, specifically the story The Ghost of Stancifer Street.
Yes,
I like that one a lot. I just wondered, what, in your opinion, what's the key to writing a good short story?
Punchy idea that can be completely handled in a short space cannot depend on long character development and complicated plot. In my own case, I think this must be common. I started out churning out short stories, huge numbers, when I first started writing, and then they started getting longer and longer. Now everything I write is book length in my mind. I find it hard to write a short story now because I tend to think in terms of lots of plot and character development. I like novellas, very short novels, very long stories, nice length.
What I liked about Stancifer Street was the way it ends with a punch, like you want more, and it doesn't give you any more. You're just left kind of haunted by it.
Well, I was happy with the ending. It gave me a little chill when I wrote it. I actually have expanded that idea into a novel, which I'll be working on, I hope, sometime in the next year or two.
Really?
A long multi-generational ghost story.
Oh, wow. I'd love to read
that. I hope you get the chance.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it. So a final question in our Take 5 here. So Eric and I both read Trellisane Confrontation, and I've read your other Trek stuff and your short stories. But I'm wondering, for someone who hasn't read your work before, do you have a favorite or something you'd recommend they start with?
Well, I had two favorites. One is a zany comic novel called Business Secrets from the Stars.
Oh, yes.
And the other is a somewhat grim, somewhat military time travel adventure novel called The Time and the Soldier.
Great. And you have a full list of your works on your website, which is just Dvorkin.com?
Dvorkin.com, right.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. I enjoyed your work. I know Eric has too, and we're glad to have you on the show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
There we go.
I hope that he does write that book, because that short story was really good. I mean, it just hits you right where you want it to hit you. You know? So I think like putting it out over multiple generations would work very well. I wanted to ask, but I didn't, if he had any inspiration from Jack Finney, because several of the short stories in there had that vibe. And Jack Finney was kind of the king of short stories around that time. Yeah. So when this book comes out, I would like to have him back. And I want to talk more about NASA, because, I mean...
Yeah, he worked at NASA.
He worked at NASA. He worked at the Apollo missions. It's such a fascinating element to that, and then to take some of that inside information and turn it into a career writing science fiction. Although not all of his work is science fiction, but a lot of it is.
Right.
You can find the full list, as he mentioned, on Dvorkin.com, and you can also follow him on Twitter at David_Dvorkin. We have a couple of his books here. There's a couple spread out throughout the system, and any we don't have, we can always get.
Right.
So if you're curious, if you want to read a Sherlock Holmes book, if you want to read Time and the Soldier, which he just mentioned, let us know and we'll get you a copy. So, David, thanks again for joining us. That was fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Eric, only one microphone would work, so Eric didn't get to ask any questions.
Yeah, we thought we had it all set.
He was there in spirit, feeding me questions. So, so that worked out well.
Ask him about Star Trek versus sci-fi.
I know. I needed like an earpiece. Just a minute. This just in.
Yeah.
Eric's curious.
Yeah. Ask him if he prefers Picard or Kirk.
Oh, I didn't ask him that. No. Yeah, I should have.
I'm sure.
Well, it sounds like he's a Patrick Stewart fan.
You think so? Yeah.
But he only wrote one Next Gen book. The others are the Star Trek books are Time Trap, which you did not read, right?
I have it.
Time Trap and Trellisane Confrontation are the original series, and then Captain's Honor is the Next Generation one. So, anyway,
and if any captain had honor, it was Patrick Stewart.
It was Patrick Stewart. Let's talk library news. We're in the start
program.
Of the summer reading
Libraries
program.
rock.
I've got my Libraries Rock T-shirt on even now.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
A lot of fun stuff going on. We've got the kids' movies every Wednesday at 10:30. Those are always popular. First up is Sing. You've got your teen movies every Friday. First up there is
Maze Runner, The Death Cure.
Can I say blows on this podcast?
No, I mean, you already said something
okay.
sucks.
All right.
You keep saying that.
All right.
Yeah.
It blows.
All right.
Third-
You didn't like the third one.
Didn't like it.
All
Didn't
right.
like it.
Well, the next movie, no, I forget.
Yeah.
We're showing a
And
bunch.
Dylan O'Brien, he's really suffered for his art for that one.
Yeah, that's
Like fell off a mountain.
a painful story.
Seriously.
So, but we're showing zombies and
That's a Disney Channel thing?
yeah, it is. But it's a musical.
Weird. And it's TVG.
Yeah.
Confusing.
Well, we're showing something else.
No, I know. I know you are.
Pacific
You're showing
Rim.
other things. We're showing adult movies. We're showing, well, Rock Dog is kind of right in the middle. But we're showing Rock Dog. We're showing High Fidelity.
High Fidelity is your kids movie?
No. These are like for the adult program.
Oh, okay.
So Rock Dog with Luke Wilson, High Fidelity with John Cusack, Mr. Holland's Opus with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes.
I think maybe that's it.
Okay.
For the adult movies that
Who
we're
am
showing this time.
What Kevin Kline movie am I thinking of then?
Kevin Kline?
Yeah.
And a music movie?
Yeah.
De Lovely. He plays Cole
No.
Porter in De Lovely.
That's not it. It's one where he teaches kids.
Oh.
The Emperor's Club.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, we're not showing that.
Right.
Nor are we showing De Lovely, which is a weird movie. But
Okay.
the soundtrack's kind of cool.
Are we showing Captain something's Mandolin?
Captain Corelli's Mandolin with
Yeah.
Nick Cage? No.
Oh, that's Nick
but I
Cage.
really missed it. I missed the opportunity to show a Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Book clubs are currently reading High Fidelity. We're winding down on Carl Hyacint's Basket Case, so we're going to be starting Tess Gerritsen's Playing with Fire.
Yeesh.
And
Do
Eric
I
and
have
I-
the time to listen to you mispronounce that?
And Eric and I are leading a YA for Adult Book Club, something we do every year on Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah. You gonna watch that movie?
Probably after I read the book.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know if I can.
What is Kat Denning and Michael Cera, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good cast.
Yeah, but they're teenagers.
Oh, okay. Well,
Did you ever watch? Last year we did the movie with the kids who swore a lot, and they made a movie.
Yes. Yes. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
Yes. Did you ever watch that?
No, I didn't.
I still think it might be a better movie than
I would imagine.
So,
yeah.
maybe I'll still
Jesse
check it out.
Andrews was
Yeah.
that the author for that?
Yeah.
That was our last YA for Adult Book Club.
Yes.
Yep.
Last summer.
Anyway, we're in the heart of the summer reading program, so now's a perfect time to come in and check out what's going on with the library.
And
Get yourself or your kids a library card.
Yeah.
Unlike what?
Unlike the city,
Yeah.
there is love in the heart of the summer reading program.
Heart of the summer reading program, sure. We'll be doing the summer feeding program where
yes.
any kid under 18 can just come in and get a free lunch
Yeah.
here at the library.
Yeah.
So I hope you'll join us for that.
We're kind of like
And
the
that,
YMCA
again,
during the summer.
That's open for everyone. So
Yeah.
come see one of the movies. Of course, Music on the Lawn every Thursday night. You'll have a concert. The end of our summer reading program, the final event is going to be a talk and book signing with Wendy Corsi Staub, a well-known fiction best-selling author of mysteries, suspense, and she's got some romance in there too.
Mystery, but she didn't call herself Wendy Corsi Stab.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
It is. Big
All right.
time. Big time. Anything else you want to mention before we close
Wendy
up shop?
Corset Stab.
Yeah. Right.
Tuesdays are going to be our Arcade Tuesdays, which are going to be out on the front terrace where we're going to have our laptops and our games and this sweet basketball hoop thing we got and Step Mania and all this other fun stuff. If it's not outside, it's up the stairs in the teen loft. And Thursdays at 3 o'clock, we're going to have our crafts. And
right.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are for 8 and up. And then we're also going to be running our Teen Anime Club, which is 14 and up. The 14 is mainly there for TV 14 ratings.
Sure.
And those are every Wednesday at 5:30. And then, like you said, we have a movie every Friday. And this week's is Maze Runner.
The Death Cure.
Our grand prize is a sweet Bluetooth speaker set that's so cool that I want to take it.
Yeah.
But I can't.
You're an adult.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
And also, we have a second. This is the first year we've had 2 grand prizes. The other one is a ukulele.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ukuleles are cool.
They are.
People like learning them.
I've had one for years that I've
Yeah.
wanted to learn how to play.
My wife has one.
I know.
So, and then we got some this week's prizes are this pretty sweet foldable headphone set, Bluetooth set, and then also the Maze Runner trilogy,
That's
all
right.
3 of them.
I know. All the
The
magic
good one
right
and then
there.
the other 2.
Yeah.
So.
The adult program, every week we're giving out a $25 gift certificate,
Ooh.
and the grand prize is a Nook tablet from Barnes & Noble.
Nice.
So looking forward to that. Next week is going to be a historic episode here. It's going to be episode 150, and we're going to be talking to the local paper who's a little curious about it. So keep an eye on the Spectator for a write-up about the All the Book Show.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week for episode 150.